This is episode 503. Ugh! Yes, everybody, it is the last show before we take a week off, so we thought it'd be fun to have our sister Stephanie sit in with us, the third Ugh, actually the second Ugh, really, if we're being literal. But welcome to the show, Stephanie. Yay!
Yay, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Okay, really quick, Paula. Mm-hmm. You've been on jury duty all week.
Well, I've been on call.
Now, you posted something late last night that said that today you're supposed to be, apparently, are you getting called in or do you know yet?
Okay, so all week, basically the Friday before you start jury duty, after 5 o'clock on Friday, you have like a group number. So my group number was 319.
Yeah.
And they post all the group numbers that are supposed to show up Monday morning. My group was not that one, but then they have instructions for all the other groups, like what you're supposed to do. So my group was supposed to check again Monday after 5 o'clock to see if I was supposed to come in on Tuesday. So that happened every night up until last night. And then last night it said you have to check at 11:15 a.m. on Friday to see if we need you in the afternoon. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, just let the torment end. And so I was just like, oh, God. I'm like, watch, I'm going to freaking get called in. I'm going to be on like a 6-month trial or something.
Oh,
it's just going to be horrific. So right before we started, I checked and thank the Lord, it said, we do not need you. You have fulfilled your service. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, thank God. And I was thinking, I asked Victor, I'm like, have you ever done jury duty or been called? He's like, I think I've been called once. I'm like, this is like my 5th time. I'm like, how do they decide?
I don't know. I think it's pretty random, but I will say this. I have been getting called to jury duty since I was 18 years old, and I have never once called in to check to see if I need to be reported.
He never does.
You just don't go?
I just never do. And because I figure, I didn't get any notice, so I guess they never needed me. And so I just got lucky.
The first notice is the notice, Jamie.
I'm aware. And so then
you're like, Cher. I don't remember a first notice. That ticket is the first notice.
So then about 3 or 4 years ago, I got a letter that's bright red.
They're like, you better freaking
and it said, hey, bitch, you got jury duty and you've been evading us for years. You better show the F up. I had to call. So I called and I said, hello, apparently I have been avoiding jury duty. They're like, oh, yes. And they're like,
we have a special file for you.
They're like, do you have the red envelope? And I said, yes, I do. And they're just like, yes, you can't not do this. Right. And I said, all right, fine. So they're like, we're sending you this. You need to check in. We will know if you don't. I'm like, all right.
Yes, they know.
Oh, so I wonder, did you actually have to report? You didn't get to call?
I didn't have to go down there. But I did have to call in every day. So I did. And then I was luckily never had to go down and sit and wait. But I didn't know. I figured if they didn't send me a letter going, hey, you didn't check in, that they just went, oh, you're fine. I thought I got away with it. No, that's not how that works, apparently. So,
that's exactly what it's going to happen to Jerry. I tell him that. I'm like, you can't just fling those things in the garbage.
I didn't know.
He's been getting them for years.
Yeah, it took years for them to catch me.
I the first time I got jury duty, it was 4 months after I turned 18.
Yeah, I started getting them early.
And I got called in. I had never even driven downtown by myself. And I was just like, okay, so this is kind of a funny story. I was trying to find the jury duty parking lot. And, everything's one-way streets down there. Yes. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I? I was like scared and everything. So I turned down what I thought was the jury duty. I thought it was an underground parking lot. So I went down this hill, like into an underground parking garage, and I pulled up, and then this huge, giant, correctional police officer guy came out, and I rolled down my window. And I'm like, is this the jury duty parking lot? And he's just like,
what are you doing here, small child?
He's like, no. And he's like,
this is where we bring the sex offenders.
You know what? Was it the courthouse?
Okay, it was below the courthouse.
Yeah,
that's where they drop off the prisoners. So he's just like, normally, he's like, I'd have you come out. I'd have you searched, your car searched, and, everything. And I'm like, oh, no. He says, but I really believe you don't know what you're doing. And so he's like, I want you to make a U-turn.
You probably looked like you were about 12.
Yeah.
Well, I had just turned 18.
That's what I'm saying. I remember what you looked like.
He's all, here's your jury summons. I want you to turn back around, get back out on the street. the next parking lot, turn right where it says jury parking lot and go in there.
God.
I'm like, thank you, sir. I was so scared.
I don't know what it is about our faces, but when we are approached by law enforcement or anybody of power, like, you know, in charge of something, we get this wide-eyed look, and they're just like, okay, I really believe that you have no idea what's going on, so move along.
Yes.
Because we're so honest. Our faces are so honest.
It's a good thing, though, because I've had situations where I've had to deal with law enforcement, and I was so grateful that I was believable, even though I was telling the truth.
Yeah, but they are trained to not believe you, but it's clear that you're honestly telling the truth. Yeah. That's so funny, though.
I've gotten 2 tickets in my life. I've been pulled over 5 times.
Yes.
I have had 3 warnings, 2 business cards.
Yes.
The 2 tickets came from fucking red light cameras. Those motherfuckers don't discriminate.
They don't give a shit how cute you are.
But the other ones, the 3 warnings and the 2 business cards, awesome.
I will tell you the one time that I remember our mom getting pulled over for speeding, which I know is hard to believe.
Where's the fire?
We were on our way back from Disneyland. And
she was probably just ready to be home.
We were just coming out of Bakersfield, and there's a big hill. When you come off of the Grapevine. When you come off of the Grapevine, you go down.
Just past Ventura, huh?
Right, and you go downhill. And so she was just going like 90 miles an hour, which is very unusual for our mother who drives.
Help it.
She just didn't care. So we were going down 90 miles an hour because that was the one thing about her on I-5. When you're going from LA to Sacramento, she doesn't give a fuck about speed limits. She's like, you can go as fast as you want here. And I was like, what? She had me do all of my driving hours on 5 from Disneyland home. And she's like, Jamie, you're going too slow. I'm like, I'm going 65. She goes, the speed limit is 70. You should be going 80 miles an hour. I was like, oh my God. It was terrifying.
I wouldn't want to.
Sometimes on those long stretch of roads, you have no concept of speed because
you don't.
It goes on for hours and you're just
endless.
Like,
it's true.
And it's just land, and you're just like, am I even moving? What are we doing?
I know.
The Sahara. It's never going to end.
It's true. So anyway, we were coming down off the Grapevine and going down, and Mom's going like 90. Now, I believe, Paula, you had to pee.
Is this when she peed in the cup?
No, that was
on our way there.
That was when we were in traffic.
On our way to Disneyland.
In Los Angeles, and I peed in
the 405. It was a nightmare. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a highway patrol pulls up behind us and pulls Mom over. And we're like, oh my God. And you know, it's 5 women, 5 girls, 4 girls and a woman in a car in a Honda Accord. So she pulls over, and wouldn't you know, was the most handsome highway patrolman with bright blue eyes.
Yay.
He pulls over. He goes, do you know how fast you're going? She goes, you know what? I didn't, but my daughter has to go to the bathroom. There's Paula. She peeks out. Hello. You know, 'cause she's like 2 years old. And so
he has his button. Yeah.
He's like, okay. He's like, I'll give you a warning this time. However, Marva, you know, let's keep it down. She's like, you're right. I'm sorry, officer. Talk about, I mean,
Mom was cute when she was young.
She's still pretty.
I know.
But I know what you're saying. So,
well, I'm talking about like from one young person to another.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But he was really cute.
We all get hit on when we're younger. I haven't been hit on lately. Are you kidding? Oh, that's
God.
A lie, actually.
You got hit on?
Well, there's a guy at the grocery store. It's ridiculous.
Is it a checker or a bagger?
He's a checker.
Oh, thank God. So he's union. He's got benefits.
Yes.
Okay.
Daniel.
Everybody
calls him Danny, but I always call him Daniel. I used to blow him off constantly because I was like, you're so stupid, Steph, and he's not hitting on
Lord,
you.
I miss him so much.
He's like 15 years younger than me.
That's funny.
But eventually I couldn't deny it. I'm like, he's flipping hitting on me. After like 2 years, I finally acknowledged it. So now I just kind of toy with him a little bit.
Paula, what's that song from Same Time Next Year?
Same Time Next Year.
Remember that movie, Same Time Next Year,
I
where
do.
they meet every year? There's a song.
Yeah.
Look at us. Dun, 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 dun. I think
that was like way before my time. That was freaking like, who was that guy?
was like it was Alan
Michael
Alda.
Anthony Hopkins? No, not Anthony.
No, it was Alan Alda when he was cute.
Oh, he was good, but it was the lady. She was like
she was very popular back in the day, and I can't remember
but she
her
was
name right
gross.
No, she was not. Well, she was a ginger, Paula. Come on.
Oh God, you know what? That's why I automatically think of smell when I think of her.
It's true.
The kids think the pharmacist at CVS is in love with me. He's literally like 22. He's not even a pharmacist. He's like a pharmacy assistant. I think he's going to pharmacy school.
Oh my God. Okay, so you know I'm on Reddit. I go on Reddit occasionally, and it's kind of a dingy area of the internet. I don't mind it. I do like it. There's a lot of fun stuff there to look at. So but I don't interact with people. I don't make friends. I just read posts and upvote stuff and downvote stuff. And that's pretty much it. And
it's dangerous to do so.
Suddenly, the other day, I got a direct message, and I'm like, "What? I didn't even know you could do direct messages. I had no idea."
Oh, I get those all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one for the first time, and it's like date or fuck, and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Me?
Like, who are you?
What?
Where are you?
Where's your mother?" No. But anyway.
Oh my God. I did that one time. Not on Reddit, but I had because I post a lot on like UFC forums.
Right.
Sometimes guys will send me messages because they just, mostly it's like, sausage fest on those kinds of forums.
Oh, totally.
So when they see like a girl comment sometimes, they're just like, ooh,
God,
and so I'll get like inappropriate messages sent to me. The last time I got one, it was like really inappropriate. It was like something about me giving some guy a blowjob or something like that.
Oh.
So I looked at his profile and he was married and he said married to blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on her profile. I screenshotted the message he sent to me and I sent it to her and I'm like, look, I'm all woman to woman. I'm like, if this was me,
douche.
I'd want to know. I said, so I'm just letting you know what your man's doing out there.
You know what? I
And
would
she
do
replied
that.
to me. She's like, oh my God. She's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't apologize. I'm like,
Kick his ass.
I'm like, don't
Oh, I'm sure
apologize
you
for
paid for that
him.
one.
I said, he's got some explaining to do. I said, but
Lucy.
please do not apologize for what he's
Yes.
done.
Have
I
you ever
said,
read like random comments on like the most nonchalant things, like a tampon commercial on your Facebook? And here's the comment. Oh my God, you would not believe.
Really?
I mean, I got curious one time because I'm like, okay,
Who comments on a
have you?
tampon
Yeah,
ad?
have you ever heard of those? I've not used one, but they're like cups that
Oh
you
yeah,
use for
menstrual
your period.
cups. Yeah,
Okay, right.
never in a million years. And I don't want to hear the women that go, "Oh, you love it." I'm like, I
right.
won't love it. I don't want to hear it.
Right, 100%.
yeah, I don't want to put my hand up there.
No.
Ever.
Something Allison would do, I'm sure.
Please, you know
probably
what?
has done
Listen, I was a strong advocate of the sponge back in the day.
Oh,
back
I
in
remember.
Back in the
You got
90s.
pregnant.
No, I didn't actually.
you did.
But back in the 90s, the sponge, everybody had to be sponge worthy because then they took them off the fucking market.
I remember Elaine on Seinfeld, she bought like 5,000
She bought 'em
boxes
all.
before they took them off the market.
That was funny. Yeah.
And I remember watching that being so damn jealous. I'm like, God, why didn't I
think
get all
of
those sponges? But yeah, and having to put your fingers up your cooch every time, it's
sucks.
so, and like the women who use OBs with no applicator, how? Why? What are you doing? I
Why
don't get it.
are
get it
those even
either.
popular? Like, why do you want to do that?
I don't.
It's probably saving the environment. I don't know. But my point is this. So
They're cardboard applicators. Tampax are. Oh, maybe not anymore. I don't know.
Yes.
the cup thing. So I'm scrolling through and I see it. I already know what those are. I wasn't interested in it, but I did notice that it had like 6,000 comments.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? That would be 6,000 comments on a
Right.
menstrual cup.
Right.
So I look at it and I start reading it, and yes, it was all of those things. I love it. I love it.
I
You
hate
try
it.
I tried another brand. This one was better. Next thing I know, there is this whole thread with like 500 comments about a transgender guy who went on there and said, I find this ad really offensive because it's targeting women, and
well, that's because women bleed.
not
dude.
all of us are women, or
I
not
can't.
all
I can't.
women.
Please, no, I
men
can't.
bleed too, because
No.
it was a woman that had turned into a man.
Well, that's fine.
But they still had their parts, right?
Well,
But what does that have to do with a menstrual cup?
Because the way that the commercial was it said, for the woman who is on the go, who doesn't want to do tampons anymore. It was basically feminine,
I just really can't with it.
and it went on and on. I found myself reading for like hours. I was not going to comment, but after a while I'm like, that is so weird that people are, it was just trippy.
Speaking of, somebody called me a scum the other day. I laughed so hard. I laughed so fucking hard. This was a while ago, and Paula said something because everybody's trying to keep their children engaged and entertained, and you're trying to find ways to keep your kids from going insane while they're at home and stuff like that. And so I went, you know what? I had the weirdest thought of all of the strange hobbies our mother used to do when we were growing up. And
God, I don't remember anything.
I'm going to tell them the ones that came
I'll
up
probably remember once you start.
up at the top of my head. And well, here's what happened. She would assume these hobbies for herself.
And then
And then she would grow weary of it and try to pass it along to one of
okay.
us.
I thought you were going to say that she suggested we do something. I'm
No,
like,
no,
that
no,
never
no.
happened. I'm like,
Oh,
that
God,
never
no.
happened, Jamie.
No, she would.
I'm like,
go-
I'm going to call your
beg her if
bluff
there was
on that
something
one.
we were-
She would get all in on something that she saw on television or read in a magazine, and then she would go, hey, Jamie, you want to try this? And then here's everything. And she still does that, by the way. She still will give you everything when she's done with something. So anyway, I was thinking, I'm like, well, the first one that comes to mind is crocheting.
I was about to say needlepoint.
She got me into hook rugging, those hook rugs.
Me too.
She had me do those. And then crocheting, she told me that I did not have the temperament for knitting, so I never had to learn how to knit, thank God.
Thank God.
Okay, really fast. We were watching a TV show the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, we had that Afghan. And Ryan looked at me, and I'm just like, he's like, Mom. And I'm like, oh, the blanket, Ryan. Because he thought I was being like derogatory or something. And I'm just like, that's what they used to be called, Afghans, Ryan.
Oh, God, that's so funny. You're like, no, they're called Afghans, son.
He thought you were being offensive.
I'm like, do they not call them that anymore? I'm like, what do you call it? You know, like just a blanket, a knitted blanket? I don't know.
Like saying you don't call people Oriental anymore. You probably don't call blankets Afghans anymore.
Do you even call blankets anymore? I don't know. It's just like, we had that thing that like is woven with yarn and, you know, multiple colors that you put on your couch. Sometimes you cover yourself with it because it's, you know, for warmth. Usually your grandma made it for you when you were,
Did you Google it?
No, I just...
Okay, good. I was just curious.
I think it's just because he looked at me like, Mom.
You can't call it Afghan anymore.
I'm like, I can't even say what I knew as a child. And I'm like, God, I'm turning into one of those old people that just like starts using language from the 50s and thinking it's okay.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't want to be that person, but
You're not that person, Paula. The fact that you're
I referred to a blanket as an Afghan, and my son was appalled.
That's hilarious. He's so woke. Okay, so there was that. Then there was the crocheting where she would buy hundreds of dollars worth of needles and yarn, and I
remember going to some place and getting yarn. What was that?
Joanne's fabric.
Fabric place we went. No, it wasn't Joanne's. We used to go to this fabric store.
Well, there was
Hancock's. You're right.
Yes, Hancock's, which
God,
is
we'd be there for hours. I hated that place. It was so
God.
boring.
And, here's the problem: is we would always get in trouble because we'd get bored.
We were bored.
Yes, exactly.
Well, the workers would be like, "Please stop unrolling the fabric."
Please get your dirty hands off of all the satin.
And it was probably so expensive we had no idea.
They're like, you're soiling our lavender satin over here. People use that for prom dresses.
Yeah, and Alice and I would be all wrapped up, and I'd be like, look at the wedding dress I made. Look at this one.
Hey, they have
lace. We can make a belt. And Mom would be like all somewhere else, you know, totally studying something, looking at, you know, buttons or beads or, you know, like it was, you know, life or death situation. And
or the wedding dresses section.
Or we'd be hiding, you know, in the bars, and then someone would open a fabric. We're like, hello.
Yeah, they're like, whose random child is this? All the time. Yes.
They'd be like, we're like, hello, sorry.
Yeah. So there was that. She tried to get people to sew. That didn't stick. Then she got into doing nails, acrylic nails.
Oh my God, that's right.
Well, I know she's getting her nails done, and then she's like, you know what? I could do this. So she bought all the supplies, went home and started doing it herself, and she needed someone to practice on. And so she had our cousin come over all the time, and she would do Lisa, and she would do her nails like every week. Oh, and she did the full-on silk wrap and the acrylic and the whole thing.
I remember that. You know what she reminds me of? Allison. Allison's the one that will be like, I don't need to pay 50 cents for that. I can do it my damn self. And then she'll try to do it. And I'm like, why?
So then, she went
the difference. Well, never mind.
So she went through that and then grew weary of it and then gave it all to our cousin so that she could do it.
And probably ended up in the trash.
Who knows? And then,
because I'm sure that was something she wanted to take on. You know,
she's like, "Thanks for doing my nails."
$2,000 worth of nail equipment,
right? And then she went through this phase where she wanted to learn how to do calligraphy.
I remember that.
And so she bought all the tablets to practice calligraphy,
and the
pens and everything, all the different colors. It only came in black, blue, and brown, and then white. For the dark paper,
and stuff, yeah.
And then you had to practice.
Oh,
and
she used to get so mad at me because I liked that little thin paper. I don't know why. I just liked it.
Fun.
And she's like,
really fun.
Paula, stop taking all the calligraphy paper. She's like, what are you doing with it? And I'm like, I'm tracing my Barbies.
I know. And so then she grew
because I would
weary
put
of
it on my coloring books and I'd like trace the Barbies on it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why?
Then she grew weary of that and passed it on to me because God forbid I did a calligraphy C once, and so now I had all the tablets.
It's such a useful, useful skill to have it these days.
My Lord.
You could have written a thank you note to your Postmates guy.
And then do you remember when we were just talking about this before the show, we all have our Cabbage Patch dolls. But for some reason, we wanted more or something. So she went and started making us Cabbage Patch dolls.
I remember that. Oh,
and she had to buy the heads.
Oh my God, yes. Allison. Sorry
That's right.
if you're listening, Allison.
Making dolls.
Well, Allison's suddenly becoming like a Thai cuisine expert. You know, she has palm sugar and all kinds of weird stuff.
I looked at that picture the other day, and Victor was like sitting there, and I showed it to him. He's like, "Are those spaghetti noodles?"
I felt they were rice noodles.
Seriously, she goes to the Asian store. She is not scared because she'll take Zaya with her.
They sell that stuff at Rayleigh's. I'm just saying.
She's like, but
you can get it at Rayleigh's.
she said but she really does go.
I know. I believe you.
Yeah,
I believe you.
She is. She goes to KP Market now because she lives so close. But anyway, yeah, she's like, she sent me there. She goes, Stephanie, I'm telling you, you have to go there.
Did you go?
Well, she knows how much I love sushi. And I did go. But she warned me before I went. She's like, those women are mean. She's like, they will look at you because you're white. You know? She's like, so I'm just telling you. She's like, just nudge them out of the way. She's like, treat them like they treat you. And she's like, just hold your own. And I'm like,
that's probably not even necessary. She probably just went in there with an attitude, assuming that, if you just go in there and keep your head down and do your shit, then just check out.
It's not even that they're being mean. It's just, it is a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's like a nail salon. I'm just, so you take that out. Daryl, cut that out.
They just move, they will move you out of the way to get what they want. Yeah. And it's not personal. No. They're just like, I need that. Excuse me.
And I'm not waiting any longer. Yeah. Although now I do that. I was just at the store the other day and some dumb woman was standing in front of everything going, I don't know if I want this one or that one.
You're like, I know what I want. Move.
They're both remarkably similar, but I'm just not sure. I'm all right. That's it. And Daryl's just standing there with the cart going, and I'm just like, and I walk over. I'm like, reach right through her face to get my fucking olive oil. And then all of a sudden she's like, all of a sudden she becomes self-aware.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my God. And she's like backs up and I'm like, I hate you.
I hate people like that so bad.
We were at the store the other day. This older gentleman, I was walking and then he kind of was coming from a different angle and like walked right in front of me. So I stepped and I bowed down and I put my hand out like, please, after you. I didn't say that, but I did the gesture. And he kind of looked at me like I was nuts. And I'm just like, yeah, I am. But you know what? Fucking rude dude. What happened to ladies first? But whatever.
Oh, hell no. That doesn't even exist
Nobody
anymore.
cares about that anymore.
People look at me when I do things like that.
What?
I know they probably think, well, there was other people around. They saw me cross my leg and bow down and be like, well, after you.
I'm sure they probably got it. They're like, oh, he probably did something rude.
They do.
No, they laugh. They're just like, they knew what he was doing. They saw him cut me off.
Asshole. I swear. I'm so sick of assholes.
I hate men who don't. I know I shouldn't. It really bothers me if a guy goes right in front of me and I'm directly behind you and he just shuts the door in your face. I'm like, oh, that's okay. If it was a man behind me, I open the door for them.
I hold the door for anyone.
I just think it's polite to do.
I do it until it becomes like a clown car. And I'm like, all right, you take over. I'm not doing this anymore.
I do it once and then I'm in.
Yeah,
Bye.
exactly.
Person behind me take over.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? People are just, a lot of people are just so unaware and fucking rude. And they're like, well, I didn't know. And I'm like, well, it is your duty as an adult human to know. Idiot. Oh, and then the final one, it wasn't really a hobby. However, she did make us do perms and give perms. God. And then she trained me to give her a perm.
Yeah.
So that she could, I don't know when that ended, but I'm so glad that phase of our life is over.
They still sell those things. I've seen them on occasion.
Uglee.
Yes.
What was the other one, Paula? Aussie perms.
No, I just remember Ogilvy.
Yes, those were the ones that burned your skull. Stephanie was
they smelled so bad.
Stephanie would put a towel. She's like, put a towel over your head because the fumes. God, the fumes were so bad. She's like, you're torturing me.
Oh my God, she was.
And I was sitting in the living room going, well, she is torturing her.
Why did Mom make the Cabbage Patch dolls? Did she think they were too expensive?
No, we already had them. And no.
that could be.
No. We didn't have them because you could not get them.
Oh, that's right.
They were impossible to find. And then, so she made us a couple, and they were horrible.
Yeah.
And then something happened.
She even tried to make the butts and everything.
Everything.
Oh, but it doesn't have the blue Xavier
I wonder what
Roberts.
happened to those. I'd be curious to see those now.
I'm sure she threw them away.
She threw those away.
Victor said, I don't know if this is true or not. Victor said growing up they were so poor. He said, we had dolls called the lettuce crop children.
Lettuce crop child?
Like the Cabbage Patch dolls. They were the lettuce crop children.
like the generic version?
Basically.
the Walmart
Or
version.
did his mom make it?
I don't even know if that's true, but I mean,
The
I'm just
lettuce
like,
crop.
can you imagine? There's always like a knockoff brand.
That's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
I mean,
oh my god. Lettuce crop child.
these are just as good.
Like we heard on the radio one time, this was
God.
like a prank radio show, and they're just like, "Would you ever consider a mayonnaise alternative called Divine Beating?" And they're just like, "Because instead of Miracle Whip, it was Divine Beating."
That's horrifying.
Well, I mean, what's Miracle Whip?
I'm going to call somebody that. I'm going to be like, you're just a lettuce crop child. I can't wait. That's going to be
I'd
my...
be like, that looks like a lettuce crop child.
I'm going to put that in my holster for future use. That's for
It
sure.
looks like an L double
Hey, we
C.
can relate though. That's the thing. I remember being super poor.
Oh my God, we were so poor.
So poor.
Well, here's the hard part.
It was always feast or famine with us.
Oh my God, you know what? It was true. We were either swimming in money or we were destitute. I remember the first time our mom had to buy generic brand at the grocery store. This was when generic brand first came out.
And it was like the bright yellow can with
It was
black.
bright yellow with black writing, and I remember beer, rice. I was thinking about it. I'm like, God, our mom was constantly trying to find something to do at home to keep us occupied. I really believe we were quite the handful. I'm not saying our childhood was
For
ideal.
children or a handful for
But we
anyone?
were difficult as far as a level of energy and creativity that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, we never weren't getting in trouble for something. If our kids did even remotely half the shit that we did,
My son.
we'd be exhausted.
I think mom was trying to find things to keep herself preoccupied, and then
Sure.
we were just left to our own devices.
A lot. But
If it had been the other way around, if
Yeah.
we had things to do, then we wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Parenting has changed so much, though. Back in the day, you can watch any movie in the old days, even the old days, like Queen Victoria days, and kids were just left to frolic outside, and then suddenly they fall in a pond and die. It happened all the time because nobody watched the children.
Yeah.
And that kind of has changed, now. But I mean, back in the day, like our kid, like I stepped on a rusty nail once, just minding my own business in the backyard, and nobody even knew. No one
got
knew.
Stuck in the spokes when me and you were 2 blocks from
know,
home watering the lawn at one of mom's houses that was for sale.
It's crazy.
I mean, would you ever let? And you were
No.
like 8, and I was like 6.
I know.
I jumped off the
would
top of the shed with a sheet, thinking it was gonna,
I know.
act as a parachute, and I
Jamie
peached
and I did
myself.
that. I thought.
We made her
And
do
nobody
it.
was home. No one came home for hours.
Yeah, no
I
one was
could've,
home.
I don't know. I could have busted a labia or something.
You really could have. You did peach yourself that day.
With my heel. I'm
know.
saying, like, if mom came home and saw me jumping off the shed with the
She would lose her mind.
I don't know if she would have. She'd be like, get down.
She would have shit herself and be like, and everyone was standing around watching, and she would have been like, "What are you guys, Jamie?"
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And you'd be standing there holding the pillow. It wouldn't be on the ground. It'd be like, "Well, we have a pillow. Why is it on the ground?" I don't know.
I legit remember Allison going, I'm excusing myself from this situation. I'm not going to be a part of it. Like,
Or the time we chased Allison around the house reading her diary.
suddenly she became incredibly lucid
And then she
went,
just started repeating the same phrase. I can't remember what
Oh,
she was.
no.
She became like catatonic. She's like, "It was not my fault. It was not my fault. It was not my fault."
oh my God.
How many pictures of us do we have walking the retaining wall? Why was that a thing?
Oh, what, me and you? And
Everyone, everybody walked that retaining wall.
Well, it was
Like, I think we even timed
Balance
ourselves.
beams.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah,
that's
mom
so
and dad
funny.
put us in gymnastics. That was a
for about a minute.
short-lived hobby.
Very short-lived because here's the problem with things like that is that they put us in these things going, oh, let's get them out of the house, 2
But then
hours.
They had to go.
But then they would stay because they're like, we don't want perverts to mess with our children. And so
Right.
they would stay. And it's like, okay, well, that was a waste.
and then they hated it.
And then they
like,
pull us
"Never mind."
out. Yeah, they're like, I don't want to come here and be here till 5 o'clock every day. I'm like, well, no one's asking you to stay.
Or 6 weeks later, when you have to pay the $50 again, you're just like, well, we don't really have that money right now. It's just like, well, maybe next time. We'll do something later.
I do really remember when we were flush with money and then got poor. And when Mom had to go to the store and buy generic, and we were walking with her, and we're like, what are you doing? Why are you getting those generic yellow Cheerios? Not the yellow one. What are you doing? She's like, what? It's the same thing. And we're like, no, it isn't.
We like hide our faces. Mom, we can't be seen in the yellow one.
Someone's going to see us with this. And she started laughing. She's like, all right, fine. I won't get it. And she wouldn't get it, but she wanted to. And we would not allow it.
While you're here, you just let us know when you're done.
You know what's so funny is when I go to the grocery store and I start doing that, like they don't have that exact thing anymore.
No, they have the grocery store brand.
Right. So I'll start doing that, and Jerry will be like, so for 5 cents, we have to get this the Safeway brand. He's like, really? I go, hey, every time we buy one thing and it's 5 cents, I'm like, add it up. And he's like, get the freaking Contadina. Oh, he doesn't. He's like, I don't want that tomato paste.
That
tastes
is
weird.
So strange because now Trader Joe's, that's all it is one
their
store
brand.
brand. There is no, it is the fancy generic brand now.
Well, I finally got him off Tide because I'm like, that is atrociously expensive, and I don't think it works all that much better.
It's like nothing but filler. I mean, it's not even soap.
I don't know. I do have some of Mother in me. I do find myself bargaining on things, and
our kids don't care about a single thing. Something must have shifted in childhood because like we'll go to Winco and we'll buy like gobs of like the cheapest, brand of cereal or whatever in like bags, like the plastic bag giant thing of cereal.
Yeah.
And
they don't care.
Kernel Bite, instead of Captain Crunch or something like that,
Well, no wonder you guys like Lettuce Patch Kids.
No, it was
Puffs.
Lettuce Crop Children.
Lettuce Crop Kids. Sorry, children.
They just don't care. Like they could give two shits. They just don't care.
I don't even know what it said anymore. Yeah, it's funny because I remember the day that I realized that buying clothes at Target is not shameful for children, for teenagers. I'm like, God, when I was growing up, if you didn't buy your clothes from Macy's or, Above the Bell or a mall store, you were a dope.
It's like, where'd you get that?
You're like, what is that? And now it's like, if now they just go to Target, they're like, what? This is so cute. I love it. And I'm like, what? I mean, God, where was Target when I was growing up? I would have loved it.
Yeah, but Target's fucking expensive now.
Well, yeah, cheap. That's true.
I remember being in like 8th grade and this really popular girl, she's like, oh, that's so cute. Where'd you get it? I'm like, oh, Ross. And she's just like, oh. And she like totally dismissed me. And I'm like, what's wrong with Ross?
Nothing is wrong with Ross.
Nothing.
God.
So I hate shopping. I buy everything on Amazon. If it doesn't fit, I just keep it in my closet and I'll just wait to see if I can
That's
give
why
it
I
to
have
someone.
like 3 pairs of shoes I can't wear because I don't return anything. It just sits in the box.
We're all the same. It's the same way.
It's dumb.
I just go, hey, can this fit you?
You know what? Mom used to do that. Mom never took anything back.
She doesn't.
Really?
No,
she's always trying to pawn things off on me. She's like, do you like these? Do you want them?
Actually, the only thing she'll return is cosmetics.
Who returns a cosmetic?
I don't.
She will purchase a lotion. It's mostly lotions and moisturizers.
That makes her break out.
She'll purchase it, and if she buys it at Sephora or Ulta, she will return it, and she's like, this burns my face, and they'll be like, full refund, and they'll give it to you.
They totally will.
Yeah, but she will make the effort to return cosmetics, but not clothes or anything else.
That's so
That's
weird.
so weird to me. But why does she even buy things? She knows it's gonna, even if she's not allergic to it, she will make herself break out in hives.
I mean, I'm 20 plus years younger than Mom, and at this point, I have used the same brand moisturizer for 10 years. Like, unless they stop making it or they change it, I'll probably always use it.
And they will change it eventually.
Yeah, because it doesn't make me break out. And
with makeup and face products, the same way she is with haircuts. Like, nothing will ever work.
I know.
Listen.
Sometimes I wonder if, sometimes I kind of hope she'll get that, what is it?
Alopecia, Paula?
Yes.
So mean. Why would you want her mother to be bald? That's horrible.
Well, no, I'm just saying she'd never have anything to complain about.
You know what, though? I just realized this not that long ago. Mom used to wear wigs back in the 60s and 70s.
Didn't.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
That's a lie.
So her big, pretty, fluffy blonde hair wasn't her own?
Hair pieces. I'm telling you.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it when she was doing the beehive thing?
Do you know how many people they don't call them wigs. I don't know.
No, she had full ass wigs. I remember playing with them. I know you don't believe me, but it's true.
I do believe you. I think I have a very vague recollection of that. But we must have been really young.
Well, so many celebrities wear wigs. I mean, it's not even like
now-
a thing.
Well, they all have extensions.
Molly and I buy wigs all the time, actually. They're fun.
And do what with it?
We play with them. They're fun.
I was like, you don't go out.
You guys play with them.
Yeah, she's got a long brown-haired one, and she came out, and she had it on, and I go, Malia, you look like a cancer patient trying too hard. And she's like, what? And I go, that's not a good color for you. That doesn't even look real. And she's like, hold on. She went and put a beanie on. I go, okay, you look a little bit better now. I get it.
She's like a sim.
I don't know.
true.
Wigs creep me out.
I love them. They're so fun. I buy one every
there's
year.
like something on my head. I mean, obviously there is something on my head, but I just feel like, I don't know. Like I'm being enveloped in cheap plastic. I just don't like it.
Maybe that's why mom hates getting haircuts, because back in the day, all she could do was just throw a wig on and she looked all put together. And now,
Well, maybe we should invest in like a nice wig. Well, no, don't, because
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Mom, we got you a gift. She opens the box.
She'd be like, what is this? What is this wig?
Wait, I gotta stop laughing.
No, listen, this is even a better segue. So Chris Martin dated Dakota Johnson for a minute, which is Dawn Johnson's daughter,
Right.
Melanie Griffith's
And
daughter.
Melanie.
Well,
She's actually really pretty.
she's okay.
I think she's
I think
ugly.
she's
Hate her
beautiful.
bangs.
I hate her, period.
So she and her friend Maud have decided to collab because they think that we are just too fucking puritanical when it comes to sex and sexual, satisfaction. We're prudish as a
Wait,
society.
who? Dakota Johnson?
Yes. So
She did 50 Shades of Grey. Now she's
I don't
suddenly
know.
like the expert.
So she and her friend Maud have created a new website called Maud.
How original.
And I'm going to read you the definition.
Oh, but
It
that's
is,
supposed to be like scandalous.
as a modern sexual wellness company built on quality, simplicity, and inclusivity, we're on a mission to change this outdated industry and make intimacy better for all.
What industry?
The sex industry.
Has she ever seen a pornographic film? Has she ever
So,
been to a
she's talking about the stuff you can buy.
Yeah. She's talking about like
You can
enrichment.
literally buy a butthole and a vagina segment, and that's all.
Yeah, seen those.
Most of their products are vegan and cruelty-free.
Oh, wonderful. That makes me feel better.
Oh, so you're not fucking animals. Aw. Well, go to adamandeve.com. You can probably buy a goat's ass.
Everything that she sells is either a shade of avocado, brown, or cream colored. There's all of these holiday packs that you can buy. There's one called the Stay in Bed, which has a wipe for cleaning up. It's got 2 condoms. It's got lube. It's got a spray to sanitize your sex toy. It's got a sex toy, and it's like $150.
That's
And
forward thinking.
I don't exactly.
Get a fucking
There's also
t-shirt out of the hamper.
Just open the drawer
Lift your
of most
butt up
bedrooms and
before
you'll
it
find all that
drips,
stuff.
and well, first of all, you should be getting up to pee because you don't want to get a UTI. But I mean,
I do.
Have him toss you the t-shirt. You go first, then you toss it back. He can do whatever he wants to with
Okay,
it.
stop
You're in the
it.
bathroom going to pee, and then that's it. What is the rest of this spray and wipe and condom shit?
So anyway, this is the new website. So they have the shopping area, and then they have the articles. They're
the education.
the educational, and all this other garbage.
Informational.
There's a whole section if you're over 50 on how sex should be when you're 50. I'm like, okay, 50
how would
is
they
not
know
old
she's like
anymore.
23?
I don't think 50 was ever old.
50's not old. I'm like, golden years, really? I'm like, to
God.
who? I don't understand. But she's a child, so she
Okay.
thinks that's so old.
Right.
The last thing
So-
I want is a 23-year-old telling me how to have sex. I want to go to her and punch her right in the breast. If they're even there. And then I wanted to be like,
I mean, listen, if you want to be mad about it, go to mod.com.
I'm going to go on it.
You have to. It's called mod, like getmod.net. I'm sure we'll be revisiting it when they come out with some vagina candle or some kind of, because you can buy right now. They have the one product that I saw that was kind of funny is they have a vegan soy candle for $15 that when it melts, you can pour it on people. Like that's the goal.
That's like the oldest thing in the book.
It is old. So I don't know what
it's dumb.
I don't know what this. First of all, don't ever do that to me. I would hate it.
I've never done it either. I have no need
What, pour
to burn
candle
myself
wax
with
on
a
someone?
liquid.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
It reminds me of that scene in
It seems so cliche.
The Wolf of Wall Street when the wife is like, when Margot Robbie's like, you were shouting, what's her name? I can't think of what the name was. He's like, I wasn't, baby. I wasn't. And then they like do a flashback to the night before and he's got a candle in his ass. And it's lit. And he's like, oh God, stop. He's like, dirty little birdie. And then she says his safe word. She's like, fuck your safe word.
Oh, no.
No, Jamie and I talked about that movie, and we talked about there's that part where the girl literally has her ass puckered in the air, and he's snorting coke off her ass.
Oh,
and I'm just like, can you imagine being the actress or the
It was Margot Robbie, and she's drunk.
No, it wasn't.
Gorgeous.
It was a prostitute. And I'm just like, can you imagine being cast for that role? And you're like, okay, so your role is you're going to be laying on your arms and your shins, and your ass is going to be puckered in the air. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be snorting coke off your bare ass.
Perfect.
And he's going to be like 3 inches from your asshole.
Okay.
It's just like, can you imagine what kind of pressure that would be? Like,
I think it would be amazing. I just close my eyes and pretend no one was watching.
but I'm just saying, like, you would have to have the freshest, cleanest, hairless, most prepared asshole on the planet. I actually refer to porn stars' asshole as like nuclear meltdown hairless asshole. Like, how do you get that kind of hairlessness?
Oh, they go somewhere and get it done.
Yeah. Or you know, they get electrolysis.
Yeah.
I don't think having your asshole waxed would hurt. I think it's the bikini area that
I don't think your asshole being waxed would hurt either, but I'd be a little afraid about the little thin lip of skin around the hole. That would be really concerning to me.
Never happening.
And I'm afraid I'd break out in a rash.
I totally would break out.
And I would be mad about it.
I had my cheeks waxed about 6 months ago.
Your ass?
No, not my butt cheeks.
Your face? You had your face cheeks waxed?
The Vietnamese lady told me I was furry.
A Vietnamese lady told you were furry?
She goes, do you want to do your cheeks too? Because I did my eyebrows. And I was like, do I need it? She's like,
peaches are furry. You don't wax those before you eat them.
I guess I just felt it came into the pressure.
So now you're like, well, now I have to get it done.
Yeah, totally
Well,
did.
Stephanie, they also tell you your nails are going to look nice if you add a flower, but it doesn't mean that, you know, they still don't look nice.
So the next day I looked like, oh my God, I looked like I was just covered in those little whiteheads.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
thousands of them.
Oh my God.
All over my cheeks. And
that is horrifying.
I was so grateful it was a 3-day weekend.
So you could heal?
Because I was like, this would have been like a Thursday. I had to go to work the next day.
Did Jerry laugh at you?
He didn't. He doesn't usually laugh at me. He'll just look at me like, what did you do?
Oh my God.
He's like, what the fuck happened?
I'm absolutely like flummoxed. I am absolutely speechless right now. I can't believe that you did that.
What was the last time?
Okay, first of all, why didn't you tell us this? I'm like,
know.
what?
Stephanie is vain, and I told you about the time her and I got our eyebrows waxed. And Stephanie said, she's like, wow. She's like, my eyebrows feel really hot and kind of puffy. She's like,
I look like Frankenstein.
And I'm like, me too. It's just a little red and swollen. So
they look
we
so
went
good
to eat
when they
afterwards.
heal.
And then she went to go put some powder on.
What? I can't even understand you.
She's like, oh my God. She's like, I look like Frankenstein.
You put powder on.
What was it? Was it for your wedding or something? I probably did something stupid.
We went and got our nails done. I was getting my eyebrows waxed, so you decided to get yours waxed too. So
it probably was my
then
first
you put
time,
your
too, I'm
sunglasses
pretty sure.
on, hoping it would make it better. And you like pulled your bangs down because you were all like white from the eyebrows down, but your forehead was just like red and puffy, kind of sticking out.
Lauren did the threading thing. She said it was like torture. She's like, I don't.
Why was she thread?
Because she thought it was, she thought it was the thing.
No, threading is that's like torture.
Yeah.
That's what Lauren said. She said it was literally like torture.
I would never do that.
She's like, I finished, but she was like crying while the girl was doing it.
No, I would never do that. The only time anyone suggested I have hair removed was in between my eyebrows. I've never had anyone say, hey, Furry, what's going on with the cheeks?
Well, she's like, do you want to do your cheeks too?
Did she charge you for that?
Well, hell yeah.
That's why.
Well, yeah, they charge you for everything.
Do you have stubble now?
No, this was a long time ago.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. Is like once you start a certain area, kind of like when you're young, once you start shaving the pits, they just start coming back.
Like coming in.
Hey, have you seen that thing? It's like it's one of those TV things that they sell. I saw it on TV, whatever. It's the hair removal thing. It's got the light at the end. It's gold. It's 14 karat gold at the tip, and it removes hair.
Yeah. Is it like a little electrolysis thing?
No, it's actually like a little shaver, sort of.
Oh, okay.
But it's really fine.
Like a Lady Bic?
So I bought one of those, and I love it. And
really?
now I've been using that on like my eyebrows.
Do you do your cheeks?
I did once. Just
And?
because I wanted to see.
Did it
like,
hurt?
am I furry? No, not at all.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
like, Jerry caught me and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have fuzz on my cheeks." He's like, "Stephanie, you have no hair on your face."
I'm like, get out!
I'm like, just get out of here! You don't want to know how everything's done. Just get out.
Yeah.
You just like the after process.
That's usually my response is someone comes in the bathroom. I'm like, what do you want? Get out! You know, 'cause I can't ever get away. It's just like if I'm missing for moments, everyone's just like, "Where's mom? Is everything okay?" You know,
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
like
Now you understand why
everyone
mom
always
used to say
asks
that.
me if I'm
Go to the
okay. I'm like,
bathroom, leave me
why
alone
am
for 5 minutes.
I'm about to not be okay if you
Would be
keep
like,
asking me that.
One thing.
You know, it is true. Now as parents, we know what the hell is going on.
So.
But spouses do it too. Partners do it too.
Oh my God.
Like especially
Jerry's worse than Jeff.
I mean,
God, I mean, I've been in the shower for 5 minutes. He's like, "What the hell did he come in here to ask me?" It was something so mundane and stupid.
it would have made me mad.
I was furious.
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't." Oh, I know what he came in to ask me. "Hey, no. What? Do you think if I crack an egg into the water like Emerald did, that it'll work like for poaching?" I'm like,
What?
I was like, "Get out!"
No,
See what Google says.
I don't know. Why don't you try it, moron, and see if it works?
I'd be like, I would stick my head like, I have never hated you more than I do
Oh,
right
the
this
looks
moment.
I give are so
Yeah.
telling. He looks. He's all shuts the door and slithers away.
Okay, really quick, and then I have some questions I want to ask you guys. It's called Which Ugh, and I have 17. I don't think we're gonna get through all of them, but because it's quick fire, we can't pontificate on every question. But really quick, I was listening to a podcast that I like, and there was these two women who were, and they're my age basically. And they were talking about sex with their husbands and how they'd been a bit stingy with blowjobs and hand jobs and stuff like that. So they're trying to change it up and get a little more, caring about it because they were just not. They were not as proactive as they needed to be as a wife or as a partner. But the one was saying that she has to swallow because her husband considers it some kind of rejection of him if she doesn't.
Ew.
That's his fucking problem.
Thank you. I was like,
I'd be like,
listening to
well,
this
if it's a problem, then I'll just won't do it at all.
I was just listening to this person say this and I went, wow, I don't see how that is any of your problem. This sounds like a he problem, not a she problem.
Well,
I'm
I was
like,
just gonna say, if that's how it has to be, well, then we just won't do them.
I'd be asking me like, well, do you save all of your emissions from masturbatory practice?
Right.
So, is there a jar somewhere?
Do you swallow those too?
Gross.
That sounds like bullshit. Why do women fall for that stuff? Or
don't
why
know,
do
but
they believe
Exactly.
that? Like, why are they so manipulated into believing that is like?
Well, if you don't have a lot of
requirement? I'm like,
self-esteem.
your husband's an asshole and a douchebag, and I would just tell him like, well, if that's how it is, then I guess I just won't do him because me
wouldn't.
swallowing is a
happening.
complete out too. So it sounds like we're at a
I'd be like, well, we're at an
stalemate here.
impasse.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds like we're at an impasse. What do we do?
Totally.
You take
Sounds
you
like a
either-
total stalemate. Sorry.
Oh well.
I would like to know
Anyway.
if there's actually, and I'm sure the answer is yes, is there
What?
women who actually enjoy swallowing? Because I find it so repulsive that I literally want to gag just talking about it.
I don't know if they enjoy it or not.
I would prefer
mean,
not. I would prefer
It's
not,
not
to
my
have it in my mouth
preference
at all.
I'm not saying I haven't or wouldn't,
no, me
but
too,
I
me
don't.
too. Yeah,
I
of
don't. I don't go.
course.
Yum, 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 yum. Who does?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't we all just pretty much tolerate it when we've done it?
And then the decent guy's grateful, but other than that,
I think they're all hoping it'll happen, but I'm just like, what difference does it make? You've
It
already
doesn't.
done what you needed to do. And in fact, sometimes they'll just keep it in there long enough to where they feel like the experience is over, and then I'll just like smile and then I'll get up and go spit in the toilet. Whereas for all they know, I already did.
True that. Well, now I'm getting vomitous.
Yeah.
Why did I bring that up?
What I'm saying is that like if you let them believe like what they believe, they're not the wiser. You just be like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna pee. Bleh.
I'm sorry. I guess I've just gotten so honest in my sexuality as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will straight up tell you if I hate something
Yeah.
or like, no, that's not happening. Whatever.
Here's the problem with me personally. The problem with me is, Daryl will try something new or interesting and I don't like
After
it.
all these years, how?
Oh, still, yeah.
See, you
and
know what? If someone tried something new, I'd be like, where'd you learn that?
that has happened.
Who
That
taught
has
you that?
happened.
What are
Where
you
did
doing?
you see that?
He'll do something and I'll be like, where did you see that?
Then it's like
He's like, what are you talking about? I just thought it was something new.
Have
I'm
you
like,
been
no,
talking
no,
to
no.
someone, like a woman who tells you that she likes that?
You're
Saw it
not that
somewhere.
imaginative.
Are you having
like-
intimate conversations with a woman and she's telling you women like that? Is that what she likes? How do you even get on that level of a discussion with another woman? What are you doing? Are you fucking around?
Pretty soon he's like, get out of my house!
You know
I
how
want a
that
divorce.
goes.
He's like, I just wanted to turn my tongue counterclockwise just to change it up. I was cramping. It's something really dumb. Okay, so in lieu of ugly and awkward moments, unless you have an epic one. I don't. I had one, but it's not that big. Okay.
It's been a bad week, yeah.
We're going to do a series of questionnaires, and we're going to call out the sister that we think can answer this question. So it's like the first one is, which sister is more organized? Me, you, Stephanie, or me, you, Allison, or Paula?
Okay, sorry. I can tell you which sister is not organized.
I know. Okay, but those are the kind of questions. So you can just shout it out or say it out when you have an answer, and then we'll decide if that's accurate or not. Okay. So first,
I have an answer. Oh, is that? Oh, that's not the question. Okay.
no, that was the first one, but I was just using that as a sample of
Okay.
what kind of questions I'm going to be asking.
I would probably say Jamie, and I'm a close second.
Oh, I was going to say Stephanie.
Oh,
Are you more organized than me?
I'm super organized.
You probably are.
But
You're probably more. I mean,
I'm not. I'm actually not that organized, but I'm pretty organized.
Okay, you're probably more organized than I am.
But you're actually more organized than me.
how?
I don't know.
Well-
I can just tell by the way your house is.
Oh,
I think with Stephanie, everything has a place, though. You know what I mean?
I had junk.
Like,
True.
I had junk on the counters 10 minutes before you showed up.
Okay, whatever. Well, all right.
In fact, Daryl and I got in a fight, and I said, "My house can't look like this when my sister comes over.
I
so
don't
fix it."
care. Of all of us, like honestly, you could see my house filthy.
I don't want
and fine.
anyone to
yeah,
see
but
my
you know
gross.
what? When Stephanie comes to my house, she ends up cleaning it, like straightening
she
everything up,
said.
or like she cleans
She
up,
says
like
that.
not cleans it, but like she'll straighten up my counter and she'll put together my coffee table and
yeah,
you know,
I'm like that too.
just little
All
things.
right.
And I'm like, would you please stop? You're making
And
me
I
feel
hate
asshole.
it too. Yes, because mom's like that, and it makes me insane when she comes to my
know.
house and starts
straightening
Stop
up.
it.
She'll come, She'll come to like watch the kids for an hour. I come home and it's just like, oh, like Martha
I know,
Stewart's
right?
been there, and
Smells
I'm
like
like,
bleach.
okay,
Pine
thanks.
Sol. I didn't even know I had pine
Yeah,
Sol.
really. I'm just like, why are the floors so shiny?
That's funny.
Oh,
Okay,
I just
here's,
got on all fours for a few minutes.
ready?
Okay,
Who is the funny one? Stephanie.
Oh,
Paula.
Oh, you think you're the funny one?
I mean, well,
I think she's pretty funny too.
Well, we're
actually.
all funny, I think, in our own way.
Paula, I was gonna say that is a really hard one because we actually are all funny.
Yeah, in fact, we're funnier when we're together.
And even Allison is funny. I'm sorry, she is.
No,
you think
I don't
Allison's
think
the
she's
funniest?
not.
Who said that?
No. She said she thinks
Oh.
even Allison is funny.
I'm like, because whoever said that is damn funny.
No, she can be funny.
She can be funny.
She's
You're
very
right.
sarcastic and yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Who wakes up first in the morning? Stephanie.
Jamie.
God, Stephanie.
Oh.
You are Facebooking at the crack of dawn. I'm like,
I
really?
know.
She has her first post and it says 26 minutes ago, and I'm like,
Yeah, really. I'm just getting
it's
up to
like
go
6
pee.
a.m. I'm like, why are you getting up? If I were you, I would stay in bed till like 9 every day.
Well, first of all, Paula,
You have no
does
young
it
children.
does it even count if you don't go to sleep?
Well, that's different because
that would
I'm
be
just like,
Paula.
I'm still awake when I see her post. So,
Yeah, you're like, oh, look at my
like, if they
sister's
say
awake.
who's the night owl, I would say, well, it could be either Stephanie or I, because Stephanie stays up just as late as I do sometimes.
you know what? It's not that I'm staying awake. It's that I go to sleep and then I wake up and can't go back to
Oh,
sleep.
okay.
Oh, that happens
Because
to
I
me.
have insomnia. Like, and
Usually I'll just be like,
yeah.
I'll be like heading up to bed at like 5:30. I'm like, well, I think I still go to bed. The kids are gonna be
Yeah.
up in an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, who's the fearless spider hunter? Allison.
Allison, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Paula, are you afraid of bugs or not?
Well,
so
the
much?
problem is, you know, when it's just you, you have no choice.
I'm not fearless.
Agreed. I do it, but I would really rather not. But then if I ask Jerry to do it and after I see his reaction, then I hate him because I'm like, don't be a fucking pansy. If I say kill a spider, don't be like, I don't want to touch it. I'm like, do it!
Yeah, see, like when it's us and the kids are like retreating and screaming, I just get into that mode where I pick up something and I'm just like, whack, whack, or I just like start smashing it. There's no calculation to it. There's no like slow motion or anything like that. It's just like primal mode where you just get up and you start beating the shit out of it.
See, and I can't miss though. I have to get it.
I have literally closed bedroom doors and never returned.
Yeah, but then you don't know where it is.
I'll let someone else handle that situation. It's not going to be me.
See, I'm afraid I'm going to be you.
All right. Who complains more often? Paula.
Wait, who does what?
Who complains more often?
Paula.
What? What do I complain about? I'm silent.
Literally
Silent?
everything.
She's like, I'm silent.
I am a silent as a church
I
mouse.
don't talk to a soul.
We're talking about each other, right?
Yeah, we're just talking.
I don't talk to anyone either.
In comparison to each other, I would have to say Paula.
I think Allison complains the most.
She is a complainer.
She does a complainer. She is.
Everything she talks about is like some sort of ailment or problem or some
She's
injustice.
also one of the ones that's always trying to take the positive spin, you know, which sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be positive. I want to be pissed.
Breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. I texted our mother. She, in fact, wore wigs.
She did.
Yes. I got a single answer. I'm like, Mom, didn't she used to wear wigs in the past? Yes. Who's the bigger flirt?
Paula.
Yeah, Paula.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Yeah, you're absolutely the biggest flirt of them
I'm pretty
all.
gutsy.
Yes.
Allison's a close second, I'm telling you.
What?
She's got balls.
so.
She does.
I've never seen her flirt in
They
my
go
life.
after her.
I have.
If there's something about her. I don't really.
All I know is the one and only time that I legit got angry at her was, and not, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't like mad at her. I was just like mad at the situation, is when the four of us went out. It was the first time I went out after I had Malia, so I didn't feel very attractive.
Did we go to Bobby McGee's?
We went to Bobby McGee's before that thing fell apart. There was dancing, this teeny tiny little dance floor, and we're all out there, and Allison was the one that got asked to dance. And I'm like, what has happened in
constantly.
this world?
I'm telling you.
All right. Who finishes their meal first? Stephanie.
Oh, God. I was about to
Yeah,
say
that's
me.
probably true. Yeah.
I can't help it.
You have the voracious appetite.
She eats it
love
before it
food.
becomes a meal.
I know, right? It's true.
I would honestly love to see the video from the grocery store of you taking a hunk out of that tuna.
No, but you know what? Now it's so much better. Like now that I know how to make it at home.
Yeah,
Like I would
so
never
you can
waste it
save
like
it
that.
now?
Yeah, I would never
You're
waste
like,
it that way.
I can restrain myself at the store. I will no longer take a
Yes.
hunk out. Okay, who is the romantic one?
Jamie.
Allison.
I was gonna say Allison or Paula.
Ugh, I was
Are
gonna
you
say
kidding me?
What?
Paula's not very romantic.
She's not.
I'm not romantic at all. I'm
Really?
basically a dude. Jamie, I swear to God, if anybody did
All
anything
right, yes,
remotely
you're right.
romantic,
Then
I'd be like, do you even know who I am? Like, I hate saying like flower petals and candles and all that bullshit. I'd be like, oh my God. I told you the next time, I don't even want it to happen, but God forbid if someone even thinks about wanting to get married and proposes, I just want them to put the ring on my nipple.
And just be done with it. You're right. I forgot. You know
But
why I
I'm
thought?
hoping that it's so big it won't hang. But
It's
I mean,
Jamie.
it'll
I'm
fall
sorry.
off.
Let's not lie. It
No,
is.
the-
It's because of Daryl. I get it. But seriously, you always surprise me.
I guess the reason why I would say Paula is because Paula is ever the optimist.
That's true. When it comes
and
to love.
and when it comes to love, yes.
okay, well that's not true anymore.
Okay, well that's fine.
Not by a long shot. It's
Temporarily
Allison.
until the
Allison's
next
the one
time.
that's always wearing the fucking Betty Page dresses and taking pictures of sunsets and saying how much she I don't know loves
Who,
her
Allison?
man. Or,
Yeah, she's pretty romantic.
and just she thinks she lives in like a Harlequin romance novel, and it's disgusting because I don't want to think anything like that of her life.
Okay, who is always losing their car keys?
Allison.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allison for
Agreed.
sure.
She loses my car keys. Like, I'm not, what the hell?
She constantly puts her purse on top of her car and then drives off.
She's exactly opposite of when it comes to organized. She's as
Completely
unorganized as you
unorganized.
can get. Yes.
Hot mess. Who is the big spender?
God. Jamie. But that's only
Jamie.
because you have more money than the rest
I'm
of us.
actually very conservative with my spending. I actually
Jamie,
do not
you
spend that
are
much.
not.
I do.
Yes, I am.
If I had money, I would totally spend it.
Jamie,
Yeah.
you guys
When I
have
do,
like
I
a
do.
Target budget every month because you know you're going to go to Target
budget?
and spend
I
money.
can't even remember the last time I went to Target. I literally don't
That's
shop.
just because of the pandemic.
Okay. I don't
You know,
agree.
you have like a Victoria's Secret,
No,
Target,
I do not.
Ross, Old Navy.
No. First
of
of
the
all,
above.
I would never dare
up,
go to an
Victoria's
Old
Secret.
Navy.
Oh, really?
Oh, excuse me.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I only went to Old Navy once, and I bought like 2 things. And I
What was the
Here's the
last
problem.
thing? What was the last thing that you purchased that was not like a grocery?
Christmas presents?
No, for yourself.
Oh, for myself? I bought a sweater.
Don't lie either.
I'm telling you the truth. I'll show you the fucking sweater. I bought a sweater.
Well, see, the thing is, it doesn't even have to. It's not for herself. It could be for anyone. It's just the need to shop.
No, I don't have the need to shop. I bought myself a sweater because the one I had was so worn out that I finally bought myself a new one, and I got it like a week ago.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Was it expensive?
No, it was $40.
Oh, wow.
That's expensive. Okay, sorry.
No, not really. That's freaking cheap. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I spent more on
I know.
my Michael Kors earrings.
I
than
really
just
do
bought.
not. I mean, I will take it. I will take the answer, but I'm telling you that it's not me. Okay, who is more likely to get lost? Me.
Allison.
Oh, I don't think so. I can find anything anywhere as long as there's a freeway. But if I have to go, I have gotten lost downtown many times.
Jeremy
Not
and I
even that long
we got
ago.
lost coming home from Santa Cruz like a month ago.
Yeah.
And we've both been there like a billion freaking times.
And it's a straight shot.
We couldn't understand how we ended up. I'm like, what the fuck? We're lost. I'm like, we're
Oh
lost.
my God.
We got lost coming back from Santa Cruz one time, and we ended up going through like Hollister or Gilroy or something like that. And I'm like, why are we all the way over here?
There is a weird turn you have. There is a.
It
You have
was
to.
when
You have
we
to
were
go.
on 17, I think. And
Yeah, you have
we
to go
missed it.
inland. You have to
Yeah.
go like you have to go towards the ocean at some point.
We
and
added
that's
like
a
an
weird
hour and a
thing.
half to our drive home.
God, brutal.
going the way
We did
did.
too, and it was miserable.
Yeah, I hate.
Okay,
getting
so
lost.
who gets lost? I think it's Allison, but that's
Yeah,
just me.
me too. Who is more likely to sing in public?
Paula.
Paula,
Yeah, it's
Paula's
me.
more likely to do anything in public.
pretty sure.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Who's the bigger baby when they're sick? Not me.
Jamie.
I am not. How dare you?
I was gonna say Paula.
What?
Okay, it's like your world just stops and you just perpetually in your pajamas until it's over.
Okay, wait a minute. Should
But I
we?
haven't been around you since you've been sick in a long time, so.
First of all, I was going to say none of us simply because when I'm sick, that shit has to keep going. Nobody takes care of me.
Well, every time Paula has been pregnant, she's ended up in the hospital because her morning sickness was like terrible.
Okay, but I wasn't a baby about it.
No, you weren't a
You
baby
know,
about it.
But that's
I don't
what I'm
think
saying.
any
It's
of us
like,
are, personally.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably true. Where none of us are really babies.
I don't think so.
actually, I would say Allison. Allison can't handle much of anything.
never really
And I
been
don't know
around
if
her
that's
sick.
because she's truly a wimp or if she just is trying to get some sort of drug.
She's
out
a
of
drama.
it.
She's a drama queen, and it's probably the latter as well.
So,
Well, that's true.
you know, I'm not sure. She doesn't like feeling any kind of pain. She doesn't like being uncomfortable. She feels like she just needs to be, you know, carefree, painless, and not in comfort at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless of age or
Well, you know what? That
ailment
was
or
probably
anything.
taught to her because mom was like that too. I mean, if we sneezed,
Mom
3
was
times
still
in a
that
row,
way.
Mom's like, take a Sudafed.
It's true.
I mean, mom still believes she should be pain free, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Mom, you're almost 75. Like, it just sometimes you get old and things don't work the way they do.
Who has the shortest attention span?
Probably me.
You?
I was gonna say Jamie.
I have a short attention span.
It depends on what it is.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking me too, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, that might be true.
I just kind of move on to, I mean,
Pretty much.
First of all, look at the way we do our show. Hairpin turns constantly. You're constantly changing the
Yeah.
subject. And I definitely think that I have something to do with that. So.
Yeah.
That could be true.
Who's the smart one?
Oh Lord.
Well, it just depends on what you're talking about.
I know. That's too general because I would say Stephanie's pretty smart.
Yeah, but then there's also like street smart, whereas
Yeah.
just like Stephanie has a good
yeah.
intuition for bad people.
Stephanie
and-
is so good at that too. She's like, stay the fuck away from that asshole. Hey, you're an asshole. You know, she'll like,
That's true.
she's like a fucking junkyard dog.
I don't even know how that happened, but it's true.
like she can smell like a creep like 20 miles away.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling, really, all the time because.
No, because you can sense
Well,
them.
and I feel like I'm going to get killed any minute.
I'm going to have to buy you a mace. I think I'll buy you a mace and a stun gun.
I used to have pepper spray. I lost it.
Who gets the last word in an argument?
Oh, for God's sakes. It's a really close second between me and Paula.
Oh, for sure.
Paula,
for sure.
I give up.
like
It's
talking
you,
to a
Stephanie,
brick
because I just
fucking
give
wall.
up. I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't.
I mean,
I'm done.
Yeah, it's
And I say I'm done, but I'm like, I'm not typing it because it'll not end. So mentally, I'm done.
And I hate that. I really do. 'Cause I always feel bad after the fact. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, God.
And who's the best gift giver?
Gosh. Paula's a really good gift giver.
I was going to say that.
You are. She's
Paula
so
gives really good
thoughtful.
gifts.
But you do
Jamie
too.
gives good
Oh, thank
gifts
you.
too.
Yeah,
though.
I have kept everything you've ever gave me because I love it so much.
Aw.
Same with Paula.
Yeah,
Same with Paula.
Jamie's very. I try and be thoughtful.
Me too.
But I think Jamie, she just her gifts are like good gifts. So
Like something you would really want.
Yeah.
or is useful, or is
Yeah.
just, or maybe something that you probably wouldn't typically buy,
Buy for yourself. That's what I do
Yeah,
for
I
Lauren
like that.
Me
constantly.
too. Yeah.
I buy Lauren stuff she would never buy for herself, something totally not practical. Well, sometimes I've gotten her practical things.
Sure.
But I mean, for the most part, I just think, I'm like, she would never get this for herself. I'm totally going to buy it for
That's
her.
the stuff I like to get.
Me too.
I
Olivia-
love to give people things that I know they would never in a million years buy.
Yeah, because it's not practical.
All right.
All right, everyone. Well, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. So we will be back on December 6th. Hopefully you start doing your shopping soon. Visit lipandclip.com and also visit our new Ugly store. You can go to uglytruth.com and then click on the link. Other than that, have a great Thanksgiving and we'll see you soon. Bye.